It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was up.
Well, before now, I would allow my emotions to affect how I handle.
Let's kick things off with a question that's been buzzing online. What happens when some of the world's biggest stars, with all their fame and fortune, live behind a curtain of secrets? Brace yourselves, because this story dives deep into the tangled lives of today's most talked about celebrities. From mysterious late-night gatherings of industry elites to whispers of hidden cameras and red dresses, the tea is spilling everywhere, and trust us, it's scorching hot.
My initial reaction, because that's how I always feel when I see situations like this. And then there's just like this weird sense of grief, because it is Diddy, right? Diddy is a hip-hop hero. He's an ordinary person who did extraordinary things. To sit here and act like the man wasn't a huge part of our upbringing is a damn lie. So there's this weird sense of grief, like another one of our heroes has ruined their legacy, and it's their own fault because of poor.
Picture this. The world is on lockdown. Everyone's glued to their screens, binging shows, baking sourdough, and endlessly scrolling through social media. But while most of us were stuck at home following quarantine rules, some high-profile individuals were reportedly living it up behind closed doors. And no, we're not talking about casual game nights or Zoom parties. This was on another level. Word spread about exclusive private events hosted by A-list celebrities, ignoring the restrictions that kept the rest of the world apart. The guest list? Let's just say it was as diverse as it gets. Every pronoun, every identity, every walk of life. Sounds inclusive, right? But here's the twist. According to insiders, these weren't just innocent parties.
Okay, this is what I mean when I say people wake up every day and just volunteer lies. Diddy, how are we supposed to believe anything that comes out of your mouth? And furthermore, why should we not believe the rumors of things going in your mouth when you out here volunteering bold-faced lies? You would still be lying to us right now if it was no video. You didn't even apologize to Cassian.
One name that keeps surfacing in these tales of lavish gatherings is Sean Combs, better known as Diddy. When they say there's no party like a Diddy party, they mean it. His gatherings have long been a topic of fascination, with rumors swirling about extravagant and often bizarre activities that allegedly took place. What's raising eyebrows now is what went down during quarantine. While the world seemed to pause, it appears Diddy's world kept spinning. What exactly was happening behind those closed doors?
Why the hell do you or anybody care who the hell I spend my time with?
Here's where things take a dramatic turn. Royce Reed, former reality TV star and ex-partner of basketball legend Dwight Howard, dropped some shocking claims that make Diddy's parties sound like more than just harmless fun. According to Royce, these events weren't just about letting loose. They were about pushing boundaries. The most jaw-dropping part? She hinted that Dwight Howard himself might have been a familiar face at these gatherings. Ask him about the red dress he wore at a Diddy party. She said during one of her fiery online rants. Cryptic. Absolutely. Literal or metaphorical. No one knows for sure. But one thing's certain, it got people talking.
Safest time. Are you bro?
Is this what you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about that, bro.
Then why we talking?
Royce didn't stop there. She hinted that even bigger names might have been part of this secretive world. And who's one of the biggest names in sports today? LeBron James. Now, to be clear, Royce never directly named LeBron, but fans have been connecting dots. Maybe real, maybe imagined. Why? Possibly because of a resurfaced video where LeBron praised Diddy's parties during an Instagram Live. Ain't no party like a Diddy party, he said with a grin, likely unaware how those words would be revisited years later under a darker cloud of speculation.
I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Royce didn't stop there. She hinted that even bigger names might have been part of this secretive world. And who's one of the biggest names in sports today? LeBron James. Now, to be clear, Royce never directly named LeBron, but fans have been connecting dots. Maybe real, maybe imagined. Why? Possibly because of a resurfaced video where LeBron praised Diddy's parties during an Instagram Live. "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," he said with a grin, likely unaware how those words would be revisited years later under a darker cloud of speculation.
Coming out. It's so funny what's happening with Diddy because this was inevitable.
Dwight Howard's name has been trending for more reasons than one. Recently, a man named Stephen Harper came forward, accusing Dwight of a non-consensual encounter at his home in Georgia. While Dwight's legal team has denied these allegations, the story adds another layer of complexity to an already chaotic narrative.
Meeting with the man who accused him to hook up, but denies forcing him to participate in a threesome, and he said,
What's raising even more eyebrows is the eerie similarity between Dwight's allegations and the wild rumors about Diddy's parties. Both involve secrecy, blurred lines, and unsettling power dynamics. Are these isolated incidents, or are they part of a larger hidden culture within the elite circles? Royce's cryptic comment about the red dress has sparked endless speculation. Was it literal? A metaphor? Either way, it's ignited a conversation that isn't slowing down. Intro 9.
Behind your back, it matters. And that's what we gotta first start off by saying. Like, you hear stats saying this.
Now let's talk about these infamous gatherings. Imagine stepping into one. Lavish settings, extravagant spreads, and a guest list packed with A-listers from music, sports, and Hollywood. But according to insiders, these weren't your typical parties. Attendees reportedly signed non-disclosure agreements to maintain secrecy. Rumors of hidden cameras have only heightened the intrigue, allegedly capturing moments some guests would prefer to stay buried. If true, this could become one of Hollywood's most explosive scandals.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
The allegations keep mounting. Rodney Jones, a former producer and once a close confidant of Diddy, has stepped forward with claims that have sent shockwaves through the industry. Jones alleges he discovered hidden recording devices installed in nearly every room of Diddy's properties, capturing footage of guests without their consent. According to Jones, these recordings feature some of the most powerful figures in entertainment engaging in activities they'd undoubtedly prefer to keep private. The mere idea that someone could possess such compromising material raises alarming questions. How many careers could be at stake if these tapes were ever leaked? And just how far would someone go to protect their secrets?
Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers.
One of the most talked about aspects of these allegations revolves around the extravagant nature of Diddy's infamous parties. Sources describe scenes straight out of a Hollywood movie. Luxury hotels transformed into opulent playgrounds for the rich and famous, complete with themed decor, elaborate costumes, and sometimes even masquerade masks to heighten the air of mystery. Yet, this extravagance wasn't just for show. According to accounts, it set the stage for activities that often crossed boundaries, leaving some attendees shocked and, in certain cases, deeply uncomfortable. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, has been particularly vocal about what allegedly transpired at these events. In her lawsuit against Diddy, she depicted a man obsessed with control and spectacle. Cassie detailed how she was coerced into participating in elaborate performances that blurred the lines between consent and obligation. One especially chilling claim involved the so-called freak-offs that Diddy allegedly orchestrated. These events were described as meticulously curated gatherings, with attendees flown in from across the country to participate. According to Cassie, these weren't just wild parties. They were highly coordinated productions where every detail was meticulously managed.
Yeah, but we've also heard that there's some secret lawsuit going on in New York City as it relates to Diddy too. I don't know.
What has truly raised eyebrows is the suggestion that these events weren't solely about entertainment. Some insiders hint that they served a dual purpose, part pleasure, part leverage. Allegations suggest that recordings from these gatherings weren't merely for personal use. Instead, there's speculation they might have been used as a form of insurance, ensuring loyalty and silence from some of Hollywood's most influential players. If true, this theory could explain why so many high-profile individuals have stayed quiet about Diddy's alleged behavior. Speaking of silence, let's consider LeBron James. Although his name hasn't been explicitly tied to any wrongdoing, his association with Diddy has raised uncomfortable questions. Fans have pointed out that LeBron, usually outspoken on issues of justice and equality, has remained unusually quiet about the allegations surrounding his friend. Adding to the intrigue, LeBron unfollowed Diddy on social media earlier this year, sparking speculation that he's attempting to distance himself from the controversy. But if that's the case, is it already too late?
I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
We also can't ignore Dwight Howard, who finds himself ensnared in this tangled web of accusations. Royce Reed's cryptic comment about a red dress has fueled widespread speculation, with fans dissecting every word for clues. Was it a literal reference or a metaphor for something more sinister? Regardless, the internet has been abuzz with theories, and the conversation shows no signs of slowing down. Meanwhile, Stephen Harper has made serious accusations against Dwight, alleging he was coerced into a non-consensual situation. Claims that Dwight's legal team strongly denies. However, in the court of public opinion, Dwight's reputation has already taken a significant hit, and the rumors surrounding him continue to grow.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
What makes these allegations against Dwight even more intriguing is their eerie resemblance to the stories emerging about Diddy's parties. Both involve claims of secrecy, power dynamics, and blurred lines between what is acceptable and what isn't. This raises a troubling question. Are these isolated incidents, or do they reflect a larger, more systemic issue among the elite? And if so, how many others might be implicated?
He walks away clean from this, that everything is dropped and he faces no charges or any prison time?
Not impossible. I mean, anything is possible, but I don't see that happening. I see him kind of going the path of R. Kelly, where again, for so many decades, he was able to act with impunity and just, with harming so many young women.
Another deeply unsettling aspect of this saga is the culture of silence that seems to surround these events. For years, whispers about Diddy's gatherings have circulated in Hollywood, yet few have dared to speak out publicly. Those who have, like Cassie and Royce, have faced significant backlash, with critics accusing them of seeking attention or trying to profit from their associations with powerful men. However, as more voices come forward, it's becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss these allegations as mere gossip. The sheer number of stories, coupled with their striking similarities, suggests there may be more truth to them than many are willing to admit. If these allegations are proven true, the implications for the entertainment industry could be staggering. It's not just Diddy and Dwight who could face consequences, but potentially everyone who attended these events. The idea that some of the biggest names in music, sports, and Hollywood might be implicated in such a scandal is almost too shocking to comprehend. Yet, as history has shown, the truth has a way of coming out, no matter how deeply it's buried.
Personally, I've never met Diddy a day in my life, but when you do wrong, it comes back on you. So none of us should be surprised.
16. So where does this leave us? For now, the story remains shrouded in mystery, with more questions than answers. Who else might be caught up in this web of allegations? What truly went on at those infamous gatherings? And perhaps most importantly, what will happen if the rumored recordings ever see the light of day? Share your opinions, ask your questions, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. Goodbye for now.